You can always cash in on $1 million worth of knowledge. Wanted to say it to you like that this morning, family. I hope everybody's doing good. I know everybody's moving around. I'm out and about. I'm actually at Chase Bank right now. I just had to go in and do a couple things. And I was just thinking, you remember that old saying, or that saying, knowledge is power. It is truly power. Like, knowledge is truly power. Like, knowing your value, knowing what situation you're in, knowing how to get out the situation, knowing knowledge, providing a service and a product that someone needs, really needs. That's cashing out on $1 million worth of knowledge. You know, and I know a lot of people who actually have $1 million worth of knowledge that they cashing in on all the time with their investments and with their products and services. And I think that it's important for us to really realize the fact of this, that we can cash in on $1 million worth of knowledge. But once you got this knowledge, knowledge that's not being applied is like faith without works. It's dead. You know what I mean? You're going to have to, even though, like, for instance, if I give you the game for free, which I've been giving a lot of game for free, you still have to apply it. You still have to put money with it. You still have to put work ethics with it. You still have to hustle. And it's almost like most people, a lot of people, I'm gonna say majority scale, the broad scale, they don't want to suffer because suffering is part of the process getting this $1 million worth of knowledge, because you're gonna always be able to cash in, because can't no one take what you already know. They can't take that from you. And I think that's real valuable, because no matter where you go in the country, where you live, you can be able to cash in on that knowledge. And you have to know what's really valuable. Like, really, like, you really have to know what's valuable. Like, certain knowledge that we get that we think is valuable, it actually keeps us in a system to become slaves longer, or slaves forever. And we also train our kids to do the same thing, because that type of knowledge isn't free knowledge, as far as how to be free and exercise your own rights, as far as make your own money, make your own um, products, provide something that's needed, besides being tied to a system that's actually thinking for you. I was thinking today, like, man, you know what? When they deceive the majority of people to trust school education and college education, and trust the banking systems, and trust the credit systems, they stole they hustle. They stole they gave them some knowledge, and they took the knowledge that actually really gonna make people financially stable and not dependent on the system, which is being independent, having products, having their own services. And people that's tied to the system will look at us, who's trying to do this, who's knocking on doors, trying to make things happen, like we doing something wrong. Like, why are you doing that? Why you just don't get a job? It's too hard. They do taxes. Like, they'll come up with everything to tell you why what you're doing is not going to work. But they're not working it. They listening to the system. I realized that maybe a year or so ago, like, it really hit me that I had $1 million worth of knowledge. I don't have $1 million, but I got $1 million worth of knowledge. And with this knowledge, I have to apply it. I have to put money behind it. I have to put work ethics behind it. I have to go through the motions, the process, because even though you have it, you still have to apply it. You have to build it. You know what I mean? Like my son, he loved building Legos, and even though he get that box, and when you get that Lego box, you see this nice, pretty picture on the front, and you're like, man, this is awesome. And then you open it up, it's 1,000 pieces in there. You're like, I got to do all of this. You got to go through the process to get what you're looking for. And I just want to encourage my people. I just want to encourage y'all today, man, that once you acquire the knowledge, once you get the knowledge to actually multiply finances, it's just all about work ethics. And it's gonna keep costing you money until you get to the point where you understand your knowledge and you understand how to package it and you know understand how to provide it and you understand your clients, because people want what you have to offer, especially if it's valuable. They want what you have to offer, you know. So if you have something that you know can change someone's life, that's an income for you. You know what I mean? Not only is an income because people not only will pay for that, it's something that people would refer to someone else. Like, hey, I went through this, or I experienced this, or I used this. You know what I mean? So my goal is to use the stuff I know with the containers, use what I know with welding and fabrication and installing, use what I know as being a welding engineer and a welding instructor, like use what I know as being an iron worker, a shop fabricator, like use all of this knowledge to provide something of quality so I can always cash in on my $1 million worth of knowledge. You know what I mean? Like my goal is not to depend on the system. Like I don't even want no one to depend on the system, but regardless of the situation is, you're gonna have people that you really, really love. They just gonna depend on the system and they're gonna look at things a lot different than you. You know, your views are gonna be different when you realize who you are, when you realize your value, you know, when you know what you value, you know, when you know that you got something. And it's not about being prideful. It's not about being boastful. Uh, but you have to be confident and you have to walk with your head up and you have to know what's going on, because you know what you have is valuable and you're not just going to throw it away. You're not just going to let someone just throw it in with the pigs. You know what I mean? You're not going to let it happen. Like you got to protect it. You know what I mean? So protect your knowledge, protect what you know. Watch who you allow to get close to you too, because some people act like they down for what you're trying to do, but they really ain't. They just want to get closer to the knowledge to see if they can steal what you know to take it to another level. You know, you got different people. You know, everybody ain't organic. Everybody ain't here to make sure you win. Like everybody don't want to see you win, even though they're your friends or family members or whatever. Like they don't want to. Everybody don't want to see you win, especially if they know that you come from where they come from. They figure why why you can have it and they can't have it. You know what I mean? And honestly, it's all on the work ethics. It's all on the hustle. Like it's nothing complicated about it other than that alone. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to come to you and say that to cash in on your $1 million worth of knowledge once you got it, like the $1 million will manifest itself. Like we will get it. You know, I'm at the bank now, but I don't have $1 million in the bank. You know, I don't have $1 million in here, but I'm knowing one day that things will be like I need them to be. And it might not be a full $1 million in there. It probably will. But then, you know, if I have enough where I'm comfortable and I can always replace it and I can do what I need to do and I can move and see my grandkids and my kids and help people and encourage the youth, man, to me, I'm living good. I'm living like a millionaire because I'm not worrying about bills. You know what I mean? That's something that we really try to get out of. To me, that's once you're really wealthy, when you're not worrying about bills. Bills are gonna take care of themselves. You got stuff that you got businesses that pays the bills. You see what I'm saying? You set up different passive incomes and different businesses that actually pay the bills for you. You know what I mean? While you do other things. And that's the goal. You want to use your money to make money. Your earn income to make passive income. You know, and even though that sounds simple, you know, it's still it's work behind it. It's sacrifices. You're gonna have to push back some of your desires, you know. But at the end of the day, you can get it and you have it. You just have to cultivate it. You have to water it. You have to go out there and prune it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to put some work in. But once you get it, or once you really know you got that $1 million worth of knowledge, you can cash in on it all the time. Like, you'll never go broke. You know what I mean? And you have to have enough confidence and assurance in yourself to know that you got it when you got it. Sometimes we'll push it off like, nah, we ain't got it, when we do got it. We just have to have that confidence in ourselves to say, you know what, no matter what the situation is, I'm gonna keep pushing until I reach my goal to be comfortable, my goal to have the finances where I'm not worrying about anything. You know what I mean? I'm just living life and doing what need to be done and blessing others, because once you get to a certain point, indulging yourself in a lot of vain things and just be like, yeah, it's cool, but it helps. It gives you more satisfaction when you actually see someone start from zero to get to that level. To me, that's amazing, knowing that you gave someone some knowledge, or you taught someone, or you assisted someone to get to another level and they changed their life. It's one thing for me to indulge my life in luxury, but to be able to lift someone else up to do the same, like that's to me, that's boss. You know what I mean? That's being a boss. That's actually uh, leading by example. Is creating what you are, being able to duplicate who you are. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to do. To me, I think that's my that's part of my knowledge, is that I know something that I can duplicate myself. I know that I'm not going to live forever, but people will. And if I invest in people, then me too, I will live forever as well. You know, just like the Egyptians and the pyramids, they did something that lived forever. We still doing work and finding artifacts on them, on what they did to live to be remembered. So just wanted to come to you and talk to you about that. It was just something on my mind. I was just thinking about having that $1 million worth of knowledge and how valuable it is. And even though you have it, you still have to have work ethics. You still have to do something. You still have to work. You know, faith without works is dead. Knowledge without application is also. Hold on.